Welcome to Whisper's Secrets. If you're enjoying these stories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. Drop a comment letting us know where you're watching from. Now let's begin. Life has a cruel way of lulling you into a sense of safety, right before it pulls the floor out from under you. I never imagined everything I'd built could unravel so fast. Not after 10 years of marriage, after building a home with my own hands, after years believing that my wife, Rachel, was my forever. But illusions have a way of rotting from the inside. Rachel and I had our rhythm. Sunday mornings were for pancakes. Fridays were our ritual dinner at a little Italian bistro. Saturdays? Movie marathons, always her pick, romantic comedies that I pretended to groan at but secretly enjoyed. It wasn't glamorous. But it was ours. Or so I thought. Then came the comments. Subtle at first. Casual digs about how I used to look better. Hints that I might want to start hitting the gym. Jokes about my late-night snacking habits. I brushed them off. Everyone changes with time. I worked brutal hours in finance, lived off stress, caffeine, and convenience. Gaining weight wasn't exactly shocking. But it kept coming. Sharper. More direct. Caleb, I need you to listen. I can't be attracted to someone who's let himself go. That one hit different. I looked across the table, half expecting a smile, a quick backpedal. But she was deadly serious. If you don't lose weight, you'll lose me. That was the fracture. The first undeniable break in what I thought was unshakable. I should have stood up for myself. Should have fought. But I froze. She stood, grabbed her purse, and walked out. Didn't come back that night. The next morning, she returned, with a suitcase. I need space, she said. You need to decide, your health, or this marriage. That was the moment I truly lost her. Or maybe, I never had her in the first place. Numbness came first. Then rage. Then a hollow nothing I'd never felt before. I drank. Stayed up watching the door. Hoping she'd walk in and say it was all a mistake. But she never did. Then something shifted. One night, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Unshaven. Bloated. Tired. Broken. And I realized, I hadn't let myself go. I'd let her convince me I was unworthy. So I changed. But not for her. For me. I cleared out the junk food. Got a gym membership. Pushed myself through brutal morning workouts. The fat melted away. The muscle came back. I upgraded my wardrobe. Cleaned up my beard. Got a cut that actually framed my face. And just when I stopped waiting for her, she came back. She knocked on my door like nothing had changed. Suitcase in hand, wearing that look, the one that said she still thought she had control. But before I could say anything, a voice rang out behind me. Oh, you must be Caleb's wife. Rachel froze. Her eyes darted past me to the woman standing inside my apartment. Confident. Tall. Smirking. Wearing nothing but one of my shirts. Her name was Elise. And just like that, Rachel understood. She wasn't returning to the man she walked out on. She was looking at someone who had already moved on. Her reaction? Predictable. Fury. Shock. And then control. Really, Caleb? This is what you've been doing while I was gone? Elise folded her arms. Calm, amused. Didn't you leave him for someone else? Rachel flinched. Truth always cuts deepest when it's exposed by someone who didn't have to raise their voice. I stepped forward, voice even. Tell me, Rachel. How'd that work out for you? She said nothing. Because we both knew the answer. She didn't leave because of my body. That was just the story she told herself. The truth? She'd been having an affair. For months. She met him at her firm. A smooth-talking executive. Wealthy. Charismatic. He promised passion, adventure, an escape from a life she had grown bored of. She thought she was trading up. But her perfect fantasy had turned to dust. Used, discarded, forgotten, Rachel had been replaced the same way she tried to replace me. And now, standing at my door, suitcase in hand, she wasn't returning to the broken man she abandoned, she was facing the version of me she unknowingly created. She underestimated me. She thought I'd be there, waiting, weak, desperate for another chance. She thought I was still the man who sat frozen at the dinner table when she first walked out. What she didn't know was that every moment since that night had been leading to this one. I folded my arms and smiled coolly. Rachel, you should leave. Her brows furrowed, the confidence fading. We need to talk. No, I replied flatly. We don't. Elise stepped forward, handing Rachel a thick envelope. Divorce papers, she said, her voice level. You should read them. Rachel's fingers twitched as she took the envelope. She opened it, and with every page she turned, her expression unraveled. Her face lost color. Her eyes darted up to me, disbelief tightening in her throat. Caleb, you wouldn't. I already did, I said with a grin. She expected a clean exit. A reset. But while she'd been chasing illusions, I'd been setting the board. I froze the accounts. Claimed the house. Filed with the court, with a file of evidence so airtight it might as well have been concrete. But most importantly, I secured full custody of our daughter. She staggered back a step, the papers clutched like a verdict. You can't do this. Her voice cracked. I stepped closer, my voice calm and sharp. I already did. Then I twisted the knife. You thought I was broken. Disposable. Replaceable. You thought you were trading up. But look at you now, Rachel. You came crawling back. And there's nothing here for you anymore. She swallowed hard, trembling. The fear finally flickering through her eyes. For the first time since she left, she looked small. Vulnerable. Powerless. Caleb, please. Her voice cracked, softer now. Let's talk about this. I tilted my head slightly, studying her like someone I used to know. Talk? You walked away without one. Why should I give you what you never gave me? She opened her mouth. Hesitated. I made a mistake, she whispered. Elise raised an eyebrow. That might just win understatement of the year. Rachel shot her a look, but it had no strength behind it. Her gaze returned to me. I know I hurt you, she said. But we can fix this. We built a life together, Caleb. We had. And there it was. The card she thought would buy her back in. Our daughter. But she wasn't the only one who had changed. You mean the child you neglected? The one you barely spoke to even when you were around? Rachel winced like I'd struck her. I stepped closer, lowering my voice to a quiet, undeniable truth. You left. While you were off chasing your fantasy, I was building something real with our daughter. I was present. I showed up. I gave her the one thing you couldn't, certainty. I paused. I have full custody. You have nothing. Her hands trembled. No. That's not possible. I let silence do the work. Let her feel the weight of it. The reality she had tried so hard to avoid. She had bet everything on a lie. And the lie had turned its back. Her silence said more than any apology ever could. The man she ran off with had dropped her. I leaned casually against the doorframe, arms still crossed. What happened, Rachel? He cut you loose, didn't he? She didn't answer. Her jaw clenched. Her eyes dropped. Elise didn't miss the cue. Let me guess, she said. Married, wasn't he? Rachel's shoulders stiffened. Thought so. Elise smirked. Cheaters don't upgrade. They recycle mistakes. Rachel's face flushed with shame and fury. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, but I do, I said coolly. While she was gone, I had done my homework. The man she ran off with, Mr. Romantic Escape, wasn't just married. He had a wife who found out. And when she did, he tossed Rachel aside like a liability. Karma had already done most of the heavy lifting. But I wasn't done yet. She clutched the papers tighter, her voice cracking. Just give me time, Caleb. We can fix this. Please. I laughed. I actually laughed. A bitter, quiet kind of laugh. You still don't get it, do you? I said, stepping forward. This isn't a conversation. You're out of time. Her brows furrowed. What do you mean? My voice turned razor sharp. While you were gone, Rachel, I wasn't wallowing. I was rebuilding. Quietly. Thoroughly. Strategically. I made sure there was nothing left for you to crawl back to. Her face lost color. You wouldn't. I already did. I held her gaze. The house? Mine. The accounts? Frozen. The damage to your reputation? Done. Her hands trembled. No. Your firm always branded you as sharp, loyal, calculated. I took another step. And now they know the truth. I sent them proof. Your affair. Your lies. Your betrayal. Corporate PR doesn't trust the disloyal. Check your inbox. By now, they've already responded. Her phone vibrated from inside her purse. She grabbed it, almost frantic. Unlocked the screen. Read the message. And broke. Her legs gave slightly, her face pale and hollow. Caleb, please, you didn't have to do this. I leaned in, lowering my voice. Oh, but I did. She dropped the phone. Her breathing erratic. Eyes wide and desperate. You're destroying me, she whispered. I gave her a slow smirk. No, Rachel. You destroyed yourself. I just pulled back the curtain. She tried to speak. But Jolene, steady, cool, handed her a pen. Be smart. Sign the papers. Rachel stared at the pen like it was a weapon. Her fingers curled into fists, her jaw set like she might fight it. But there was nothing left to fight for. Her affair was gone. Her career shattered. Her home? Mine. Her daughter? Already safe with me. She had lost. With trembling fingers, she signed. And just like that, Rachel Hale ceased to exist in my life. As she stood there, defeated, I gave her one final truth. You know the worst part, Rachel? I actually loved you. I would have fought for us. I would have forgiven. But you threw it away. You threw me away like I was disposable. Her lips parted. Her eyes filled with something that looked dangerously like remorse. But it didn't matter anymore. I stepped aside, motioning toward the door. Go. You're not welcome here anymore. She hesitated, like there was something left to say. But whatever it was, she swallowed it, picked up her suitcase, and walked out. I watched her go, for the last time. I had won. I had dismantled everything she thought she could control. She left thinking she'd find better. She came back to find nothing. And yet, as the door clicked shut, the emptiness hit harder than I expected. There was no joy. No fire. No rush of justice. Just silence. Elise was the one who pulled me back. Her hand grazed my arm. You okay? I nodded. Yeah. But the truth? I didn't know. I'd spent so long fueled by revenge that I hadn't thought about life after it. Rachel was gone. Broken. Living in a cheap motel from what I'd heard. Her so-called friends had turned their backs. The man she left me for? Long gone. And she had no one to blame but herself. Good. Elise, meanwhile, was still here. She had watched me dismantle the wreckage of my past, piece by piece, and never once wavered. She stood in the kitchen, coffee in hand, cool and composed. So what now? I met her gaze. Now? I moved forward. Her brow arched. With me? I smirked. You'll have to stick around and find out. She wasn't like Rachel. She didn't need me. She chose me. And that made all the difference. Just when I thought Rachel had finally vanished for good, accepted the loss, accepted the consequences, she made one last, desperate move. One last pathetic shot in the dark. She showed up at my office. I was in a meeting when the receptionist buzzed me. Sir, there's a woman here. Says it's urgent. Her tone was uneasy. I already knew. Rachel, I muttered, rubbing my temples. Tell her I'm unavailable. A pause. She says, if you don't speak with her, she'll go to the police. That got my attention. My brow furrowed. What now? I stepped into the lobby and found her pacing, arms crossed, her expression wild and unhinged. She looked like someone backed into a corner with no exit left. You think you can ruin my life and just walk away? She hissed. I smirked, calm. I already did. She took a step forward, voice low, venomous. I can destroy you, Caleb. One word. One accusation. That's all it takes. I let out a slow laugh. Really? That's your play? Watch me, she snapped. I leaned in slightly, my voice ice cold. Go ahead. But remember something, Rachel, I've got everything. Screenshots. Emails. Audio. Messages. Dated, timestamped, backed up. She went pale. She knew. I wasn't bluffing. Everything she'd ever sent that man, the man she left me for, was catalogued and ready to burn her twice as hard if she tried anything. Her expression crumbled. She turned and stormed out. That was the last time I saw her. It was over. Truly over. From that moment, something changed inside me. For the first time in years, I felt clean. No more weight dragging me down. No more begging to be enough for someone who never truly saw me. I was free. And I was never going back. Elise and I? We took things slow. She wasn't a rebound. She wasn't trying to heal me. She was simply there. Steady. Real. Her own woman. One night, we were on the balcony, city lights stretching beneath us, quiet music playing inside. She looked over and smiled. Caleb? I glanced her way. Yeah? You ever gonna tell me how you really feel? I exhaled, running a hand through my hair. Not yet. She nodded, completely unfazed. That's all right. I'll wait. Rachel would have never waited. Rachel would have pushed, demanded, controlled. That's when I realized, Elise wasn't just different. She was right. The months rolled by. Peacefully. For the first time in years, I didn't think about Rachel anymore. Not until that email. Her name blinked in my inbox. One sentence in the preview. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I hovered for a second. Then opened it. Caleb. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I've lost everything. I see that now. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was too blind to realize it. I just want to say I'm sorry. I hope you're happy. Truly. Goodbye. I stared at the message for a long moment. No anger. No sadness. Just quiet. Then I closed it. Deleted it. She was part of a past I had already outgrown. And I was finally living in a future she could never be part of again. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you loved this revenge story, subscribe to the channel for more. This was Whisper Secrets. Thanks for listening.